if we're still on the topic of the epic house party where I ended up making out with Bryn by accident, that was just the tip of the iceberg. This party was going pretty late. I was spending the night over here anyway, so it didn't really matter that much to me or the rest of the girls. Someone turned up the music a little louder. We were all just dancing around and being totally stupid teenagers. Now, before I continue, I think now would be a good time to mention the fact that Casey has a neighbor that really despises their family. They're the same age as Casey's parents, and their kids are a little older. I think one of them is in college. I don't know, I met them, and I didn't like them all that much. Too snobby. Anyway, I figured you should know that, because they like to screw with their lives in any way possible. Of course, they did this time too. It was super late, like midnight, almost 1 in the morning. There's maybe 20 or 30 of us in Casey's house. I think it was 30. Casey liked to put on parties, but what I loved is that she kept them small and exclusive enough not to have the place trashed. It was fun. The dancing, we were all hyped up on snacks, drinks, and the fact that there were 30 people in our house just having the time of our lives. I wasn't tired. I don't think anyone really was. We did start getting a little loud, I'll admit that. It was 1 in the morning, and we would have definitely been considered a little noisy for that time. Notice how I said the word little. We were getting loud, but we weren't being obnoxious. Anyway, time's passing, and we aren't really noticing until there's a pounding at the front door. We went silent. Everyone was just looking at each other nervously, and then the pounding came again. This time, Casey went and answered the door. She barely opened it before she was pushed aside, and cops were in the house with their dogs. They were telling us to all get on the ground and put our hands up. We all got into the living room. Someone screamed. Another person was crying. I was in shock. I started breathing super heavy, and I had to get on my knees. Bryn and Mira were down with me in a second, each with a hand on my shoulder. Things were getting toppled over, and dogs were running around sniffing things. A vase fell over and shattered. A picture fell off of the wall. There were doors opening and slamming. They were tearing pillows off the couch and opening everything they possibly could. "What is going on?" Casey finally shouted. One of the cops looked over here and said, "We got a call a couple of weeks ago, suspected possession of drugs in this house." We were all silent and shocked. Again, everyone was looking around. "I'm sorry, what?" It was Sadie speaking this time. "We don't have any drugs in here." 2 weeks ago? Dude, your dogs aren't even picking up anything. Everyone was frantically trying to get out their piece in the matter. We were all immediately defending Casey, too. "Who called you about it?" Casey demanded. The cop told her it was a woman who lived in the area. She cursed. Very loud. Okay, that was probably my neighbors. They literally hate our family for no apparent reason. She literally tries to call the cops on me all the time for no reason. The conversation went on for a while. Next thing I know, they're leaving, and while we're trying to clean up everything they totally messed up, they get her neighbor. She looks mad. Really mad. Casey, though? She looked like she might blow the roof off the house. "You told the cops I had drugs in my house. You seriously were going to get me arrested." The woman looked around uncomfortably. She had a gang of angry high schoolers, and the cops all staring her down. "You made too much noise with your friends," she countered. Her arms were crossed, and she looked more childish than we did. "So you lied to the cops about me having drugs? Wow, my parents are going to love hearing this one." She looked so mad at this point. They started really going at it. Casey was yelling. Her arms were flailing. It was a scene for us for sure. One of the cops interrupted the argument. Thank goodness. "Okay, is there honestly drugs in this house?" Everyone yelled this resounding no. Some of the officers were taken aback. They started talking to the woman outside. We went back to cleaning, and one of the officers helped us out. He apologized for the damage and said the precinct would pay for them. Casey thanked them, very curtly, and obviously upset about everything going on. After a time, everyone went home. The officers went back in to apologize, and Casey had a long conversation with her parents. All in all, super heretic. Don't know how this is going to play out for Casey, but, what I did learn is not to mess with a group of 30 angry teenagers. If we weren't all there for her, things wouldn't have gone so well. At least, that's what Casey told us.